If you spend enough time on the internet, then you're bound to come across some rather dark content at some point or another. Today we're going to be taking a look at 5 unnerving and possibly disturbing posts from around the web. As always, viewer discretion is advised. This one was a fairly recent case that took place late last year. On September 30th, this post made its way onto 4chan, warning anyone simply living in the Northwest not to attend school the next morning. Posts like this are of course not exactly uncommon on the internet, so naturally, people didn't think much of it. Sure enough, the next day, 26-year-old Christopher Harper Mercer opened fire at a community college in Roseburg, Oregon, killing 9 people in the process. Mercer himself was also killed that day during a shootout with the authorities, and because of this, there is no way to tell for sure if he was actually responsible for the post. But that doesn't make it any less eerie. I'm sure you're already familiar with the issue of Craigslist killers. Since its birth, there have been dozens of murders carried out using Craigslist, and unfortunately they still continue to happen to this day. In January of 2016, this disturbing message was posted to the site with a subject line simply reading, Tulsa. Here, the poster thanks the city for allowing him or her their first kill and says they're considering doing it again. The poster also states that it was stranger on stranger, making it difficult for police to investigate. The authorities have had this brought up to their attention, but no bodies were found and no arrests were made, so perhaps this was just an alarming hoax. What do you think? I'm sure we've all come across someone online who claims to enjoy twisted things like animal abuse or other types of shock videos. Here we have a post from a Reddit user who explains how he enjoys listening to a CD of violent deaths. The original poster describes it as 74 minutes of death rattles, 911 calls, people dying, screaming, crying, and being burnt alive. Of course, it is quite easy to write these types off as attention seekers just trying to be edgy, but remember, there are people out there who do actually enjoy these sorts of things, so why wouldn't they be on the internet? The only reason we don't believe it when it's in front of us is because we're more used to seeing it in the news. This one has had quite the reputation online, so it is very possible that you already heard about it, but I wanted to talk about it anyway for anyone who hasn't. Back in 2007, an anonymous user posted an image of a young lady onto 4chan. The post read, "If anyone can correctly guess their own post number, I'll tell you where she's buried." Guessing games like these aren't uncommon on the site, so people tested their luck until someone finally guessed the right number. The original poster then gave a set of coordinates in return, and shortly after, news reports of the recently discovered body of 18-year-old Emily Sanders started to appear. Sure enough, it all matched up. It's actually unclear whether or not this is true because of the proximity of the post in the news articles. Despite this, many still debate that the post was made hours before the body was actually discovered. Just about everyone in the world uses Facebook now. It's a safe space for many where they don't have to worry about seeing what they don't want to see. Sadly, this was not the case in this story. 2 years ago in the Philippines, photos of a young girl's mutilated corpse were posted onto Facebook by her father, Mark Alvin. Mark was suffering from a strained relationship with his wife who had moved away to Canada and refused to return. Following an argument the couple had, Mark decided to take out his anger on their 7-year-old daughter, Angel, and post the proof of what he had done onto Facebook for his wife to see. It's said that there was even a video accompanying the gruesome photos, which thankfully have all been removed from the site. Mark Alvin was arrested and claims that he does not recall his actions from that day.